Donald Trump is threatening to go, quote, nuclear on his own party as Washington teeters on the brink of chaos. Oh, and spoiler alert for Democrats, get the popcorn and make yourselves comfy. One way or another, this will entertain you. I'm David Reddish. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. As of tomorrow, the current government's shutdown will become the longest in American history, surpassing the previous record from 2018 when, guess who? Donald Trump was president. Americans, of course, especially those who rely on government subsidies to afford health care, SNAP benefits to afford food, or who work for the federal government, continue to sweat in frustration. Though House Speaker and pass-around Republican Party bottom Mike Flaccid Johnson continues to blame Democrats, the nation at large continues to blame Republicans for the shutdown. So much so that even Donald Trump is sweating. I hate to think of the orange stains on his whites, but I digress. It's important to remember that the Republicans did already pass a budget that cuts all healthcare subsidies in the House. In the Senate, however, Democratic senators have joined in unity with Democratic members of the House to refuse to support any budget that does not restore those subsidies. And given the narrow majority Republicans have in the Senate, everything is at a standstill. Over the weekend, however, Donald Trump weighed in with a mandate of his own.
Overnight, President Trump calling on Republicans in Congress to take action and change the rules in the Senate to reopen the government with a simple majority vote instead of the 60 votes currently needed. The president posting online, it's now time for Republicans to play their trump card and go for what is called the nuclear option. Get rid of the filibuster and get rid of it now. It comes as millions of Americans worry they could lose access to federal food assistance, including SNAP, as soon as tomorrow. Across the federal government, roughly 1.4 million workers have already gone without pay, and more than 750,000 are on furlough. Now, food banks across the country have scaled up efforts to help those in critical need of food assistance. And they say they need community support now more than ever.
We're treating this just like a hurricane where we're going to step in. It will be a challenge, but we're up to the task as we have been before.
On Capitol Hill, cuts to Medicaid and health care subsidies are still the major sticking point, with both sides refusing to budge, putting other programs like SNAP at risk.
Some of the Democrats have argued that you can use this contingency fund, but the truth is there's no legal mechanism to do it.
But Democrats are calling Republicans hypocrites because of health care cuts they made months ago in Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill.
Republicans have the nerve to admit before the American people that ripping away SNAP benefits from 16 million children in this country and more than 1 million veterans is a pressure tactic.
That's right. Donald Trump, who could have been working with both Democrats and Republicans in Congress to come to some kind of compromise from the beginning of this shutdown, has now decided to get involved. Isn't it nice of him to show up a month late to his own party? And his solution is to end the filibuster, the Senate rule that requires 60 votes for cloture for legislation to come to a full vote on the floor. And Senate Majority Leader John Thune has thus far said he will refuse to end the filibuster, fearing what Democrats could accomplish should they retake the chamber. And now it looks like Trump is not taking the brush off from Thune lightly. Axios now reports that Donald Trump is apoplectic over John Thune's refusal to end the filibuster, and he is vowing revenge. A White House advisor told the outlet, quote, "He will make their lives a living hell. He will call them at 3 o'clock in the morning. He will blow them up in their districts. He will call them un-American. He will call them old creatures of a dying institution. Believe you me, he's going to make their lives just hell," close quote. Another advisor added, quote, "The more he thinks about it, the more he thinks the filibuster outrageous and anti-democratic," close quote. The same story goes on to note that only 4 Republican senators have expressed any openness to ending the filibuster. The majority of the Republican Party remains opposed. And here's where it gets better. In a sense, Trump just proved what most Americans already know, that the Republicans are responsible for the shutdown, and he absolved Democrats of any obstructionism. In Trump's view, the Republican Party, his own party, is the problem. And if Donald Trump wants to declare war on the Republican Party, I say, go right ahead, dude. The demonization and fragmentation of Republicans in Congress, especially the Senate, presents an opportunity for Democrats to build a new coalition. Furthermore, it means the Republican-controlled Congress will be less likely to rubber stamp anything Trump wants, and they will become more likely to work with Democrats. And should Democrats retake Congress and Trump face another impeachment next year, the taco president will have made himself a whole new gang of enemies. I told you to get the popcorn for a reason, people. This is about to get very interesting. Remember to subscribe to Occupy Democrats to remain up to date on this and all other developing stories. I'm David Reddish.